In a rare instance, I think Phil Spencer was actually proven wrong, but I also think that that is a good thing. Now, hear me out. We're going to talk about this in some detail, but I still find it to be very interesting the way that things kind of come about and sort of come full circle for Xbox. I've been saying this for a while. I think Xbox was ripe for a big turnaround. Obviously, people were going to dog Xbox based on 2022. And let's just be real, 2022 was a disaster of a year for Xbox, especially coming off of 2021. And we have the pandemic to sort of thank for that. Obviously, Microsoft was in a very good spot in 2021. It was their best year ever, right? Like, in terms of first-party releases, in terms of the scores, they won the Metacritic highest average release for first party that year. They broke the record, by the way, for highest average score that year. And then 2022, and they basically had nothing. They had some smaller things, and you can argue or whatever, but it's like, for me, it was pretty much nothing. And coming into this year, they started things off right. They stealth drop Hi-Fi Rush or whatever. I liked Ghostwire Tokyo. I beat it. I played Redfall. I think at some point, Redfall is going to be looked at as a much better game than it is right now. So we'll see what happens. Outside of that, Starfield came along and blew everybody away. And it's one of those things where, gamers really flocked to Xbox over this, and it's helped them out tremendously. So Starfield has driven the two best sales week for Xbox Series X and S this year in the UK, and it's probably like that elsewhere as well. I remember doing a video about the sales increase on Xbox Series X on Amazon, over 1,000% increase. So sales of Microsoft's consoles were up 76% week on week for the 7 days ended September 2nd, according to data the market research firm GFK, which was published by Game Industry Biz. Bethesda's sci-fi RPG was released on September 6th for Xbox Series X and S, but players who pre-ordered its Premium Edition or Constellation Edition were able to start playing 5 days earlier. Microsoft also launched a new S model 1 terabyte on September 1st, which accounted for 24% of total Xbox sales during the week in question. The following week, ending September 9th, was also the second best of the year for the Series X and S in the UK, according to them. The upturn follows a slow turn for Xbox in the UK hardware sales, which were down almost 23% year-to-date as of the end of August. And Starfield appears to have ended Microsoft's record for biggest launch day, appears to have broken Microsoft's record for the biggest launch day for an Xbox Game Studios title. Over 6 million people played the game by the end of its first official day of release, including more than 1 million concurrent players, according to Microsoft themselves. VGC called Starfield, where I'm getting this from, the ultimate Bethesda game. Now, what's interesting here is the launch of the new version of the Series S significantly boosted sales here, and the data says 76% jump week on week for the 7 days ending September 2nd. And the games boss, Dorian Block, says that the week in the biggest sales year so far for Xbox Series S and X hardware in the UK. Meanwhile, the week ending September 9th is currently the second best week. This is partially due to the launch of the new Series S 1 terabyte edition, which accounted for 24% of all Xbox consoles sold. The new version of the Series S brought in $50 more expensive than the standard S model, but the jump in Xbox console sales was also due to the launch of Starfield, according to this report, which obviously launched September 6th, like I said earlier, but available or a little bit ahead of time. It is currently the best week this year for the Series X, and the following week is the fourth best for the X. In between is week 1 and week 6, which were early year blips. They say the Xbox consoles overall had a decent showing for the week, ending September 9th, with the new Series S 1 terabyte model accounting for 20% of sales completely, which, again, really good news to see. Like I said, I think that what we're starting to see is that games can drive console sales, and that is something that Phil Spencer was like in. And again, this Starfield didn't even get an 11 out of 10. It's just one of those situations where Starfield did do pretty well, and by all accounts and measures, kind of sold well. In fact, in the UK, where we saw this big uptick in Xboxes sold, Starfield was the number one in box sales, which I don't put a lot of credence in that, because I think it's a small area. And I think also, box sales, you don't even need too many of them. I mean, you could be looking at maybe 40,000 box sales as taking that number one spot. So I don't necessarily looking at that as it's like this significant thing, but it's nice to see that Microsoft, they have the game that's selling well, despite it being on Game Pass. A lot of people say, oh, well, games on Game Pass can't sell well. And then you also have a situation where you have, gamers kind of flock to buy an Xbox, even though, this game is available like on the PC and on the cloud and things like that. It just goes to show that, gamers that are console gamers are going to play console games, and they're going to go, and they're going to buy the consoles that appeal to them and buy the consoles that have the games and things like that. So, yeah, we'll have to see. It is always interesting when this kind of stuff happens, and I personally love seeing Microsoft back in action, kind of, doing this type of thing. Like I said, it's been a long time in coming when it comes to Xbox and when it comes to Microsoft kind of having positive things here. You know what I mean? Like, it's been so long, and now we're starting to see it. And who knows? Like, I know people will expect me to go, oh, well, does that mean they're going to win? They're going to win NPD and all this kind of stuff. No, listen, I have no way of knowing that. It's just one of those things where, hopefully they continue to be successful. And I personally don't even care. Yeah, let's say they do win some NPD or to me personally, does that matter? No. Is it going to be fun to kind of rub that in? Yeah, absolutely. Because, when that's the only thing that matters to certain fanboys, right, is sales of things. And when those things don't go those people's way, it's like, I think it behooves other people like me to kind of, poke fun at that just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because, at the end of the day, Microsoft is literally taking all of the agendas and taking away all of the stigmas and the negativity. That they're taking all the stuff that people had to make fun of and removing those completely as a barrier to Xbox, right? And that is 100% accurate with what I'm saying, because if you think about it, they've really done a good job of making sure that gamers have games to play, which there are, by the way. There's so many games to play. This might be the best stretch in Game Pass history, by the way. Even though it's games that maybe I'm not totally interested in, to be able to have Starfield in there, Sea of Stars, I think it really goes to show that people are excited about Xbox again. And it's nice to see that people responded to Xbox and are excited for what's coming, because I think that that's going to be pretty darn cool in the future. So let me know what you guys think. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crap 'em up. Crap Gamer out.